All right, we live. Hold up. We live right now. Hold on. Let me get this. Let me get this together. Let me get it together. What's going on, everybody? Listen, we about to start the podcast real quick. Give me 1 second. We got something to break down today, y'all. We got something to break down today. Like I said, this is the show. This is the podcast for young entrepreneurs. And when I say young entrepreneurs, I mean young in business years like myself. I've been on this journey for a while now, y'all, but I've only been uh, a full-time entrepreneur for almost 3 years. Hold up, let me start the recording. All right. So we ready to rock. We ready to roll. Okay. All right. So today we're going to break down something that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. When it comes down to business, y'all, we talk a lot about the grind, the hustle, you know what I'm saying? Getting the right information, being in the right occupation, all these different types of things, right? But when we go down to the foundational level of our business, the one constant that we going to find is that the foundation of our business is built off our character. Let me say it again. The foundation of our business is built off our character, right? So if your character's not right, you can get far. Don't get it twisted. You can get far, but eventually your character's going to catch up to you, and then you're going to be out of business, right? We see it all the time, right? We see it all the time. You'll see a business that's doing well. You will see a business that's flourishing, but eventually, right, when you peel back them layers, certain things is out of place. That's character, right? When we walk into a business and the customer service ain't right, that's character. Like when we order something offline and it ain't shipped on time, that's character. So the foundation of our business is our character, right? Especially for us entrepreneurs who may be like in the super beginning stages, where it may be you and another person, right? For right now, it's me and my wife. So our business is literally based off of our character, who we are as people, right? Our business takes on our personality, right? So how we treat the customer, how we talk to the customer, right? How we ship the packages, how we pack the packages. That's all built off of who we are as people. So let me break this down for you. The reason why we even talking about this today. So yesterday, I'm out. I'm getting inventory, right? I go to store to store. I'm looking for shoes, new and used, that I can sell, right? We have a resale business as of right now, right? We plan on launching this thing out into a real company, a real shoe company. But for now, we're resellers, right? We're starting humble beginnings. Yesterday, I'm out and I use my military discount every single time I go to the stores, right? I've never had a problem whatsoever with using my military discount. Never. I have a military ID. I showed them my ID. Now, the ID is expired because I got out 2 years ago, right? And I didn't have no disability, so I've never been to the VA or none of these different things. But I'm at this thrift store that I rarely go to. I rarely go to this thrift store. But I went in there yesterday, and I found some items. So I'm going to check out, right? And I saw they had a big sign that said, hey, if you are a veteran, salute, but we need to see that ID, right? That's what it said on the thing. So I'm like, cool. I didn't even know they did military discounts. So I went up to the register, right? I said, you guys do military discounts, correct? And she was like, yeah, we do military discounts, but I need to see your ID. Right? Instantly, she kind of was a little snappy. I don't know if she was having a bad day. I don't know. Right? I don't know what was going on in this lady's heart. Right? I don't know what was going on. What's going on? I don't know what was going on with in this lady's heart. Right? I don't know. But she was a little snappy. She was like, I need to see your ID. I'm like, cool. I show her my military ID, and then she like takes it, right? She takes it out of my hand and she's looking at it, right? And I'm like, okay, this is a little weird. You know, I usually just have to flash it and then they go on about their day, right? And then she starts like going through. I'm like, okay, this is about to go left, right? This is about to go left. She was like, your ID is expired. Your military ID is expired. I'm like, yeah, I got out 2 years ago. Right? I'm no longer in anymore. So I'm not going to have a fresh ID. Well, she was like, well, you need to have a VA card. I'm like, first of all, I don't have no disability, so there's no reason for me to have a VA card. But I'm keeping it calm, cool, and collected. She's taking it up an octave, right? She's going up. She's going up. I'm just like, okay, obviously this lady's having a bad day, but we're talking about character, right? We're talking about our businesses are built off the foundation of our character, right? I'm not letting this lady get me out of my character. I'm just not going to let it happen, right? She's going off. Right. At this point, she's going, well, if your ID is expired, then you ain't able to use it. I'm like, listen, I'm not tripping. But I did serve for 8 years. Like I was in the Army for 8 years, lady. Like I'm not trying to play. I'm not trying to get away with this. I'm showing you my ID. Yes, it's expired because I got out 2 years ago. But I served 8 years. 8 years, right? So she's just going off. Well, you gotta have your ID. You gotta do that. It gotta be a fresh ID and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, I see what's happening right now. My character is being tested right now. That's what's happening. My character is being tested. And I remember a lesson that I learned. I think it was in middle school, John Marshall Middle School. I used to have anger issues, right? I used to have anger issues. Stuff used to just get me riled up. And I remember a dude told me, I can't remember who it was. It was in the after school program or something like that. And he told me the person that makes you angry controls you. He said the person that makes you angry controls you. And ever since that day, I just can't get that voice out of my head. I can't get that quote out of my head. And I was reminded that your life, right? Let's bump business for a second. Your life is built off the foundation of your character. Sometimes we be wondering like why we can't get ahead. Our character always pulls us back. It always, like our lives always revert back to our character, always. But it really shows in business. You supposed to ship a product out, right? Your customer buys a product. You in your description, it say 24-hour shipping, but it took you 2-3 days. That's your character, right? That's your character. Your customers are upset with you because you didn't ship on time. Now you arguing with them up in the up, that's your character. That's your character. And your business can take off, right? It can take off. But if your character ain't right, your business is always going to go back. It's going to retract right back to your character. Always. Always. And that's why most customers, they buy off of reviews. They look at, they go onto your review. They go onto, that's why I be pissed whenever we get a bad review. And we got some. Don't get it twisted. We got some. We have not made every customer happy. But whenever we make a customer upset, we take ownership. We take ownership. There's customers that didn't got upset at stuff that's just totally out of our control. This shoe didn't fit. Like what? Okay. You said you wore this size. Cool. But I'm not going to argue with the customer. I make it correct. I correct the mistake. Why? Because of character. I don't care. I do not listen. I know that, we into this age where, marketing is a huge thing, like running ads and doing all these things. I'm not against none of that. I'm not against none of it. Like I use it all, right? I use promotions in my business, right? I use all those tools. But in my experience, the best marketing tool is word of mouth. That's the best marketing tool. Word of mouth. People will talk about your business. Listen, our business is strictly e-commerce, all online. We don't have no face-to-face interaction with our customers. But I promise you that we have gotten so many customers that somebody sent to us, right? They sent them to us and said, yo, do business with these people. Do business with them because their character is right. So I just want to ask you this question. I want to ask you, when's the last time that you worked on developing your character? When's the last time? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about life. Life is going to test your character, right? Life is going to test your character. So you better get ahead of it, right? You better get ahead of it. Here's one way to test your character right here. Here's one way that I do it. Let me give you my experience. I ain't nobody's teacher. I ain't nobody's guru. Let me give you my experience. One way that I test my character is that I set a goal. I say, okay, I'm going to wake up at this time tomorrow. And guess what? When that alarm goes off, I get up. Why? Because it develops character. If you can't even wake up at the time that you say you're going to wake up, come on, man. That's a character flaw. That's a character flaw, right? That is a character flaw. If I tell somebody I'm gonna do something at a certain time and I don't do it, that's a character flaw. And this stuff is going to show up in business. Now, I understand a lot of us, we think since our business is a separate entity from us, right? We think, okay, our business is a separate, we got an LLC, we got whatever. Our business is a separate entity from us, but the business, like I said, takes on the characteristics of the person who's running the business. So if your character ain't right, it's going to show up in your business. There's no way to escape it. There's no way to escape it. Now, I don't care if you're a full-time entrepreneur listening to this, or you want to be an entrepreneur listening to this, or you got a business idea that you haven't put out there yet. Listen, if you're working a job, one of the best ways to start developing your character now, right, is giving your all to that job. Even if you hate it. Y'all, I spent years at jobs that I hated, but I gave it my all because I knew that it was developing the character that I would eventually need in business, right? So when I was working full time, I gave my all to jobs that I hated. I gave my all, no matter what it was. I was giving my all. Why? Because I needed to develop the character. I knew that it was developing my character. I knew it. I could feel it like every single day. I could feel it because I knew that eventually I'm going to need to use this in my own business. So I'm going to give my all here. See, if you half-assing it at your job, that's going to show up in your business too. If you're not good at doing the things that you hate, like you love it, guess what? You may love the things you do in business, but you ain't going to love it all. Let's just get it. Let's just get that out the way. You ain't gonna love every part. I love what I do. Don't get it twisted. I love this business. I love RIB Athletics. I love it. But there's some things in this business that I don't love. There's some things in this business that I do not love. But because I got used to doing things at a high level that I did not love, it's easy for me to wake up every day and do the hard things that I don't like. That's character. And our businesses, our lives, our dreams, whatever you want to call it, is built off the foundation of our character. Don't get it twisted. Yes, I know you got work ethic. I get it, right? That's a part of it. That's a part of it. But I think all of us know that we got to work hard. I think all of us know that. I don't think anybody like says, oh, I don't got to work hard to achieve something. I think everybody knows that. But the part that we very, very rarely talk about is character development. Because that's going to catch up. Like I said, we look at our business like a separate entity. I get it. But your character will catch up to you. It'll catch up to you, right? If your character's not right, if you're easily angered, there's going to be a customer that's going to make you angry. You got to start working on that conflict resolution now. And guess where the perfect place, where's the perfect place to figure that out? At your job. I remember I used to work at McDonald's off Post Road, right? Off of, what is that, 38th and Post? I think it's 30th and Post, whatever, right? I used to work at that McDonald's. Now, listen, we used to run into some customers. You hear me? They'll come through the line cussing you out for no reason. They going off. You don't answer that, they pull up beep. You don't answer that, they start honking the horn, going ham. And I learned at that job how to deal with angry customers. And here's the beautiful thing about it. You can actually convert an angry customer into a lifetime customer. We've done it. Now, our business has been running for 3 years, but we've taken angry customers and turned them into return customers. And how do you do that? Let me give you the example of how we've done it, right? We made a mistake. Or we didn't make a mistake. Let's just say the customer's angry. We didn't even make a mistake. The customer is angry. The shoe didn't fit. Whatever we sold them didn't fit. Right? The customer's upset at us. We reach out. Sorry for our mistake. This is character. Hear what I'm saying? Sorry for our mistake. How can we make this right? Okay, we offer a return policy. You can return these shoes. We'll pay for the return label. We'll pay for it. Don't even worry about it. We're talking about character. Your business is built off the foundation of your character, right? We'll pay for the return label. Don't even trip. We'll pay for it. They send it back. We send them a 25% off coupon. We didn't even make a mistake, but we took ownership. Why? Because our character, y'all, our character, you can't build no business off no faulty character. If your character ain't right, you arguing with your customers, you going off on this customer, and you think just because you got 100 other customers that this one customer don't matter. That one customer may know 100 other people. And now they telling, nah, don't do business with them. You don't know who you're running across. Treat everybody like they're your best customer, even if they're your worst customer. We've gotten bad reviews before and turned people into return customers. That's just the reality of business. You're not going to make everybody happy, but if you take ownership, if your character is correct and you take ownership, I'm sorry for our mistake. Right? I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But where does that come from, y'all? Where does that come from? That comes from intentionally trying to develop your character. Stop letting people get you out of your character. I told you that lady was going off on me yesterday. She was going off. And I'm sitting here like, wow. And you know how you getting upset, right? You know how you get upset and you start feeling your blood, right? I started tweaking a little bit. I'm like, okay, I feel myself getting upset right now because there's no reason why this lady should be talking to me like this. There's no reason. Like even some of her coworkers was looking like, hold up, why is she going off like this? But I kept my composure. Why? Because I don't let nobody control my character. Right? I don't let nobody control my character. I control my character. I control my attitude. That's how I approach it. Right? Nobody controls my character for me. I control my character. And I've been working on my character for years. One of the things that helped me develop my character even more was the military. I did 8 years in the military. Right? And here's the thing about the military. Most of us, when things get hard or we don't like something, we can quit. Guess what? In the military, you can't quit. Ain't no quitting in the military. It's over for that. Like you think you gonna quit? Nah, fam. It's over for quitting. Ain't no quitting in the military. So here's the thing. You go from and I used to wonder, like, why would they even keep somebody who's on the brink of, like, who wants to quit? Like, just let them go. If somebody wants to quit, just let them go. But I realized as time went on that they were developing our character because most of us are just used to quitting. When things get hard, most of us are used to quitting. We don't even really want to quit. We're just that's like our default setting. We want to quit when things get hard. So as boot camp was going on and things got harder and harder and you could not quit, you went from, man, I can't quit to I can't quit. Hear what I'm saying? You went from, man, I can't quit to I can't quit. It shifts your mindset. Your mindset changes. As that character gets developed, your mindset starts to change. And then you start to embrace it. I can't quit. Oh, man, I can't quit. No, I can't quit. So that skill that I got over there, that character development that I got over there, guess what? It came over here. When things get hard in entrepreneurship, I can't quit. I can't. It's not even in me no more. I can't. We're talking about character right now. Your business is built off the foundation of your character. If your character is not right, hear what I'm saying. If your character is not right, your business is going to fail eventually. I hope y'all hear me. I hope you hear me. If your character is not right, your business will fail eventually. Let me say it again. If your character is not right, your business will fail eventually. You ain't going to outgrow your character. It's over for that. Right? So like I said, how do we develop character? How do we develop this thing? Let me tell you how. Let me tell you another way. I gave you one example. I gave you the example of doing what you said you was going to do when you said you was going to do it. That develops character, and continuously doing it. That develops character, right? That develops character. Treating others, right? Treating others the way you would want somebody to treat you, regardless of how they're treating you. Yesterday, like I said, that lady's going off. I'm like, this lady's losing her mind. But I still, at the end of that, I said, have a great day. Have a blessed day. No anger in the tone. No, none of that. Have a good day. Have a blessed day. Have a great day. Why? Because I'm not about to put out no bad energy. It's over. She could do that all she wants. I'm not putting out no bad energy. As a matter of fact, I'll probably never see the lady again. I'm just being honest. I'll probably never see her again. And honestly, if I probably would have spoke to her management or whatever, we wouldn't even have that issue, but I wasn't even going to take it that far. Why? Because my character's developed. I'm not letting nobody get me out my character. I'm not letting nobody get me out my element. It's over. It's over for that. I've learned, y'all. Check this out. I've learned to, okay, what's the best way I can put this? I've learned how to get past the mood of things, the emotion of things, right? I've learned, like I used to just get into my emotion. I used to get into whatever, like boom, you say something crazy to me, boom. You know what I'm saying? But I've learned to move past the emotion of things and not think emotional. Some of us, we make personal, or not personal, permanent. We make permanent decisions based off emotion, and that's nuts. Right? Somebody talking crazy to you, you haul off. You know, now you in a fight. Now you going to jail. You just made a permanent decision. In business, let me put it like this: in business, things not going well, right? Your sales is low for a week. Now you didn't got your whole mindset is thrown off. Now you making permanent decisions. Now you like, man, I don't know. I might have to go get a job. Man, I might have to quit. You making a permanent decision based off emotion. A permanent decision based off emotion. Here now we getting into emotional intelligence. That's a whole nother one. But that's a part of character, y'all. That's a part of character. And that's the foundation in which you build stuff off of. Your character got to be right. Like I said, when I was working, y'all, I would give my all. If they say be here at 6, I'm there at 5:45. If they said lunch break is an hour, listen, I'm not taking no longer than an hour. Now, there was a few times, I'm not going to lie to you. There was a few times where I was a little late. I'm just going to keep it real with you. It was a few times. But character. I don't, okay, here's another one. Here's an extreme. If I'm walking, let's say, down the street, right? I'm walking down the street and I see trash like on my path. I'll pick the trash up. Why? Because that's a small way to develop character. That's a small way to develop character. You know that don't belong there. Now, whoever threw it, I hate littering, I hate all that stuff. But whoever threw it down there, guess what? Their character's not right, but that don't got nothing to do with you. Pick it up. Helps you develop character. Now, keep some hand sanitizer on you. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little, you know. But it develops character. And if your character is developed, I promise you, once you get to whatever your success is or whatever your wins are, when you get there, you'll be able to keep it. And there ain't nothing worse. There ain't nothing worse than obtaining something and not being able to keep it. I've been there. Right? I've been there before I got my stuff together and business-wise, before I learned the rules of money and how to grow money and all these different things. Before I understood any of that, y'all, that money be in and out. There was no investments. There was no assets to my name. There was none of that. There was no business. I would get money from like when I used to had a fitness business, like when I used to train people or whatnot, that man, I wasn't reinvesting that. That money was coming in. That money was gone. I'll buy a few things, get a couple bands, something like that. But that money was gone when it was coming in. My character wasn't right, and I wasn't able to keep it. So here's another way we can develop character, and then we're going to hop off of here. Here's another way we can develop character. Consistency. Doing small things consistently. Not big stuff. We ain't talking about no big stuff, right? We're talking about small things. This is one of the things I'm doing right now to develop this character. I've been going live. I'm gonna continue to go live. I might go live every day this week. I don't know. But I'm at least go live. I already went live twice. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to spread some positivity. Just trying to give some people some gems from my experience. I ain't trying to teach no lessons, but consistency. I'm gonna be consistent because I told myself. And here's the crazy thing. I ain't even talked to nobody else about it. I'm keeping the promise to me. And if you can keep a promise to yourself, how much more does that character develop? See, some of us, we got to tell everybody so they can hold us accountable. What about holding you accountable? What about that part? What about you holding yourself accountable to your weight loss journey? What about that part? What about you holding yourself accountable to your business? What about that part? Character. And I know this ain't sexy, right? I know this ain't the sexy part of business. This ain't the sexy part, right? We want to get on here. We want to talk about all the money we making. I get it. We on social media. That's the land of the stunt. You know what I'm saying? That's the land of the stunt. What we talking about right now, it ain't sexy. It ain't sexy, but it's vital. It's vital. It is vital, man. You see businesses here today, gone tomorrow. All of us, we know the statistics. One out of such and such businesses fail. Well, why is that? Let's get down to the root of it. Let's get down to the root of it. How much of that percentage goes to character? How much of that? Because like I said, a lot of us, we building off a shaky, we building off a shaky foundation because our character not right. We trying to build businesses with our character being shot. You can't even give your all to your job. What makes you think you're going to be able to give your all to entrepreneurship when the money's not there? Yeah, that's the part. Because at your job, like I said this last week. On your job, you clock in and you get paid from the time you clock in to the time you clock out. And sometimes we not even working that whole time. Let's just keep it G. Let's just keep it real. Sometimes we're not even working that whole time. In business, you got to create the check. Yeah. So if you can't give your all to where you get paid regardless, what makes you think you're going to be able to give your all when the money when it ain't there, when it don't show up? When you got to work such and such hours just to get your first sale off the ground. I've been there, especially early on. Early on, that first year, there was a whole lot of hours, very little money. And then you got to reinvest. Character. We back to character again, right? Because there's parts of character that we don't really dive into. Part of your character is how you deal with money, your relationship to money. That's part of your character too, right? That's part of your character too. Because are you able to see this amount of money in your account and then take that and reinvest it to grow more? Or are you going to go on the vacation as soon as you get that first couple thousand? And now you got to return back to the job because your character wasn't right. I put it like this. I say this all the time. I got to a point in my mind where I was unemployable. Let me say this again. I got to a point in my mind where I was unemployable. And it goes back to what I was saying about the military. When you're in the military, you can't quit. You can't quit. There is no quitting. I'm putting in my resignation letter. It don't go like that. So I took that same mindset and I used it in business. I use it in business to this day. To this day, you know what I'm saying? I use it in business to this day. So every day I'm working on my character, y'all. Every day I'm challenging my mind. I try to do at least one thing that I don't want to do every single day. And usually I get that out the way with just going to the gym. Now, I do love going to the gym, right? So I'll get my lift in. And then I'll go outside and I'll run in the cold. Something I don't want to do. Something very hard. Why? Because it develops character. Then I get in a hot sauna, 180 degrees, 20 minutes. Why? Because it develops character. Then I get in a cold shower. Why? Because it develops character. Some of us, we want to be so comfortable all the time. We want the safe route all the time. Oh man, well, I have to have my T's dotted or T's crossed and my I's dotted, or I can't do this, or I can't get into the business. Well, have fun with that. Oh, I got to have 6 months to a year saved before I can do this business, because if I don't have that, then I'm not going. Okay. Take that safe route. Take it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I ain't saying it's wrong, but I do know one thing: opportunity won't always be there. The opportunity you have right now, it won't what we talking about, it won't always be there. So y'all check this out. I'm gonna drop this in the comments. I need y'all to go subscribe to the podcast, the No Luck Added podcast. Let me drop this in the chat. No Luck Added podcast. If this helped at all, if this helped you at all, if you got anything from this episode today, if you got anything from this podcast today, please share it out. If you catching it late, just watch the replay, man. Just watch the replay. You're going to get some value from it. And if you do, share it. Go subscribe to the podcast, the No Luck Added podcast. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.